I think we're going. All right. Can everybody hear me? Hello. Don't think anybody's here yet, but that's okay. Let me see. Having some challenges here with the camera. Hold on. Video HDMI in. This is I think that usually. Aha! I think I got the wrong cord. Hold on. Yeah, I thought that was weird. Alright. And turn. Alright. Okay. Alrighty, guys, let's see. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I had the wrong cord by accident. My brain has probably become a little addled with the break and the sickies. Excuse me. All right. Hello. So I'm Cecily V. Nice to see everyone. We have had some winter storm things going on. I'm sure any of you in the North, Midwest, East Coast, all that have probably had a lot of snow and ice and things. We don't usually get very much of that down here in Texas where I am, but we did get a bit, and normally that's not too big of a deal, right? I do have a AC heating portable unit for my garage studio setup for the models, but the model that was scheduled for today, Alyssa, she comes from Dallas, and they had snow and ice, and on the roads between here and there, it's about a 3-hour drive. And I was concerned about her safely getting here, and then also me and everybody in my house were sick. So I didn't want to get sick more by having a cold garage that I was trying to keep warm, because the AC heating unit has to like drain after a while because of the like it creates condensation, when it's heating. So that condensation has to be poured off, and it will turn itself off if it's full. And so then it would be like, oh, I'm in the stream, I got the model going, but oh, hold on, I have to stop and empty this thing out, and it's a whole thing. So between sickies and safety and heat, I decided it was better to do this instead. So I'm gonna just draw for you guys, and I'm gonna talk about some of the process here for the figure drawing. This is what I teach when I teach a figure drawing class through Art Plus. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna start off. This was my lovely picture for the stream here. Oh no, it's hold on. It is frozen annoyingly. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this was the picture. I'm gonna put all this stuff away here and show you guys some other stuff. So these are pretty old drawings, that I have right here. When you go to Gemini School of Visual Arts and Communication, like I did here in Cedar Park, Texas, you do morning sketch. So every day for an hour and a half, you go in and you model for each other, and you pose with props, and you draw. And it's just a lot of drawing practice, and it's a very good, robust warm-up every day. And then Mondays we would have the models. So these are drawings from that. Make sure that I'm not. So these are, so I'll always put the time up in the corner, 2 minutes, my little check marks showing that I like it. And what you'll see is stuff like this line down here is the line of action. Sometimes the figure is more on the line, sometimes it's just sort of around it. So, you know, and then there was some, you could see the clothes. Person had a hat, pants, that kind of thing. I do recommend starting with a more of a nude, if you can, just because it's really hard to understand what's going on with the figure when you haven't practiced drawing the nude figure and you haven't practiced anatomy, which are related and concurrent but kind of separate studies. So, but yeah, these are from 2019, right before I graduated, and I like to show you guys these things because like these don't look bad because I've been at it a while, but I have eventually some here where you'll see that I've scribbled it. So like here was one of the models for Monday, so we were able to have a new model, and that's the line of action that you always start with. This is another one from the models. So this is just to show you guys, I'm going to take you through this process and you start to see some of the construction. And I keep pointing out the line of action because it's actually really important, not just for figure drawing, but for anything, especially when you want to indicate motion. Wednesdays was portrait day. I don't know how well you guys can see these because they're just in pencil. But yeah, this is figure invention. So these are a little bit more stiff, which does happen when you're inventing from imagination, but you can take this process and take knowledge of anatomy and just invent your own characters. Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot more interesting to show you guys in here, but this is how that goes. You know, mannequinization is one of the last sort of steps, and just having a new model really helps. Changing up your materials helps, but again, you'll see the line of action in a lot of these, and it's important for you guys to understand too that so you guys see the time, right? I also have like, oh, here's a video of 30-second poses. Here's a video of 1 minute poses, 2 minute poses, 5 minute, all that. The reason for the time is not to make you draw fast. The reason for the time is to help you gauge what your focus is, right? So if it's a 30-second pose, your focus is really just this line of action, the angle of the head, angle of the shoulders, and then if you have time for anything else, awesome. But the time is to get you to focus. It's not to get you to rush. The process is the process. It doesn't change no matter how much or how little time you have, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna skip to the back where I actually have some blank paper here. And I'm going to, oops, it's getting all blurry. Here we go. Okay, so I'm also going to take you guys through, let's see, where did I have this? This is, the order of things, okay? So you need to start with, I put number 1, line of action, say like 0.1 is kind of just looking, right? So you have a pose in front of you. It doesn't matter if you have 30 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute, whatever. You need to just look at it first. Because what happens is a lot of times people get really focused on trying to get it right? You want to get it right. And then they are looking at their drawing more than they're looking at their reference or their model, whatever is in front of you that you're drawing. You have to look at what you're drawing, and it has to be more of a, okay, I'm drawing, I'm looking, I'm glancing at my drawing, but you're mostly looking at what you're drawing, because when you're looking at what you're drawing and glancing at your actual physical drawing, then you're seeing and understanding bit by bit what you're drawing. But if you're looking at your paper you're mostly seeing and understanding your drawing, and then you're drawing what you think you see instead of your actual reference. So if you're drawing from your imagination, cool, it's not a big deal, right? Unless you just need to refer here and there because you are going off of your imagination. Imagination drawing is different than drawing from reference, drawing from life, all that good stuff. So first you need to look. Then, of course, line of action. Then it's something called the beam, which is the torso, and how that twists and turns. And I actually have, here you go, this handy dandy tool here, which is a tube sock with two tennis balls in them. And the reason this is useful is because it'd be like, okay, so pretend this is your figure of your model, right? The head would be up here. There's no head. And this is just like your torso. So your rib cage, this is like your whole rib cage, your, breastbone, rib cage, all the middle part that can twist and bend. That's like your guts, right? Your guts inside. And then your body is able to bend and twist from the top part of your torso to the bottom. And the bottom is, this is going to be your pelvis, the front and back of your pelvis. And then I don't have one on here, but you could like draw a center line and be like, okay, so this is the front of my body. And when I twist, it's going to give you an indication of the twist that you get with those folds there. The twist in your torso where you see the skin twist and fold over the forms of your rib cage, your guts and intestines and things, and your, your hips. Unfortunately, this does not offer like landmarks. So your landmarks are going to be your bony bits that stick out, right? So you've got the bony bits of your, what's it called? Clavicle and your shoulders. Like if you feel up here, go ahead. It's fine. It's not weird. I promise. Just feel in your bony bits. You've got the clavicle that comes down here. You've got the bony bits of your shoulders. You've got the bony bits on your hips. And then you guys can't see, right? But you've got this front bony bits. This is the ACIS. And then back here is the PCIS. Don't ask me what the acronyms stand for because I don't remember. It's a part of your anatomy. So these steps are going to help you build off of, basically build the form, right? You can build from a stick figure. And so like say you take this type of thing, right? One of these little figures here. There we go. And you can draw this, but you would still follow the process, right? And you can pose it any way you want, but still follow the process. Give your line of action, and you would do, the torso, the bean shape, and all that. So it's line of action, angle of the shoulders and the bean, direction of the head, and then it's going to go to the rhythm lines for your limbs. The limbs they have a lot more movement in the arms and legs than the torso, obviously. So we do start with like a rhythm for those, which is just a very flowy kind of line for the arms and legs. The legs are going to have usually a little bit more bending, right? Because of the knees. And after that, it becomes like really just a fleshing out of the forms. So if you guys know your basic 3D forms, right? Cubes, cylinders, spheres, all that kind of good stuff, wedges. So, all right. This is a paper where all I did was the beam, right? So just those parts of the torso. So I'm going to go through this and show you guys some, let's see, we'll pick a pose. And I'm using this right here. It is all in Japanese, but it's a book with a lot of like action poses. And they go from like underwear to Japanese schoolgirl kind of outfits to give you the layers of the clothing, stuff like that. So we'll just pick a random sort of page here. with a shot. I don't know, something that's, because I'm going to do it this way first so that you guys can get a feel for something that's, and without it being timed, and then I'm going to pull up a video. So I'm going to do this one right here. There we go. That one there. And have you guys see the process here, and then I will take some time to pull up the video. Now I'm using newsprint paper, a pad of newsprint paper. Try to get it. It's all backwards. Okay. And I'm also using a lithographic crayon because I like how soft they are, and I like using the stick better. It's a little bit more intuitive. So here we go. I'm going to do this one, and we'll see how this goes. All right. So first things first, line of action. Line of action is going to go from the top of the pose to the bottom of the pose. It's not necessarily... Oh, and I will turn on the music. Sorry, guys. Play. Oh, that's loud. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I don't want the music so loud you guys can't hear me. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do this one right here. And the first thing you want to look for is the line of action, right? So I'm going to go from the top of the pose to the bottom of the pose. That's not necessarily head to feet, but most of the time it is. So I'm going to come from here down to here. So it's the head down through her foot, right? So I'm going to come here. And then that's roughly the line of action, right? Then I'm going to say, okay, here's her head. And she's facing this. And then her shoulders are shoulders. And then here's her torso, right? So we're going to do the top part of the torso and then the bottom part. So here's the top. Here. And then I'm going to go, okay, so here's the arm. That's really long. And then the other arm. Just got 4 shortening on my leg. And that's pretty much it at first. It does not look like much, right? I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people, this is not going to look like much. Your drawings at first, until you understand what you're seeing, they're going to look like what they are, figures in construction. So don't get too, I would encourage you, I should say, I would encourage you not to get too precious, but don't let it be precious, and don't get frustrated with it, because, you know, it takes time. So from there you would build, right? So the next thing you do, okay, let's refine it a little bit. I made this arm way too long, right? So I'm going to go for the shoulders actually down. I'm going to put the little ball joint for that. I'm going to come down here. And there. That's a good one. And then, let's see. The rest of the chin. Down, so that shoulder a little bit further down. And then this arm is bent, so you can't actually really see that shoulder very well, but we're going to put it in anyway. Always draw through even if you can't see it. So here's her belly button, and the belly button does this kind of thing with the elbows. It kind of goes in an arc, right? So from here, her elbow is going to come down to here on this arc. And then we've got, I'm just going to do like a little wedge with the knee, so I'm not going to worry about it. All the way there on the hands right now. Hands, head, and feet, you kind of want to study those in isolation, like on their own, because they just have more moving parts. Alright, so got her torso. So now we're going to make sure that we have this curvature here. So we've got, this is curving. Hips coming out. always a little bit of a pinch and a stretch on this side. So we've got breast here. This is a tiny picture. I'm going to pull up the other one. My iPad with the videos. Alright. So she's coming in and then down pretty straight. So, a little bit straighter than what I had. And then we've got the knees are also going to be on that kind of arc. So we're going to put that in there. This is her whole thigh here. So we're gonna, and then this little bit here, that little bump, is her foreshortened lower leg. So you can't see it very much, but yeah, it's going down and back in this case. So we're just gonna put this like this, and then our heel is down there. And then this other thigh. Good stuff. And then the last arm. So I have, what have I done? Her arm is still too long. And the reason I know that is because her hand, your hands, when you stand up, they're going to come to about mid-thigh. When you just have them like straight out and down, your elbow will line up with your belly button, and the tips of your fingers line up to about mid-thigh, maybe a little bit further. So I've got her like down to her knee. So the arm's too long, so I'm going to come up here, like get up where this hand needs to end there. And so there's your wrist. And I probably didn't leave enough space here. But that is the basic idea there. And I will pick a much larger picture for you guys to see. So let's do that now. If you guys have questions, this thing, sorry, give me a minute, is telling me to sign into the chat, even though I already did sign into the chat. Now it wants two-step verification. Y'all, oh my gosh. I'm suffering here. This is ridiculous. Let's see what we got. Two-step verification code. Let's see, I thought I did all this stuff earlier. And yet here we are. Technology, gotta love it. Okay. Alright, now, haha! I am, okay, that can go away. Sorry guys, I have to check this real quick. My kids are away at the moment, so I have to make sure. Okay, we're good. Alright, so if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. And I am going to, if you guys have any requests for one of the sessions to draw, please feel free to go ahead and put it in there. I should pull this down. Move it over this way. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now let's pick a session. I guess I'll pick one of the early sessions since I'm encouraging you guys to draw from nude model reference at first. If you're beginners, if you guys aren't beginners and you already know this stuff, then pick whichever one you want, unless you just want to draw along. Come on. Is in YouTube. I'm very old at that. Okay, so let's see. Alright, let's go to not that one. This one. Nope. Oh my god. You're not getting it. Okay. Alright, here we go. So we're gonna go to videos and we're just gonna go down. Okay. Alright, so Mirella is always a crowd favorite. So we're just gonna go ahead and open up number 1. Okay, so this is Figure Drawing Live Model, the Gesture Studio number 1. And I'm just gonna start from the beginning. There's the first pose. Okay, that's me introducing you guys to. Okay. Alright, so timestamp 3 minutes 44 seconds. This is the first pose of the figure drawing number 1. Okay, so yeah, right there. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna draw it. I'm gonna pause it, okay? So that we are not timed yet. I'll go through and do some timed ones. I think it's important for you guys to see that because then you can see that even when you've been doing it for over 20 years, like me, that you're not gonna get every single pose. You're not gonna you get tired, you're gonna mess up, your eyes and your brain don't necessarily, don't communicate as well as you would like all the time, and that's okay. That's totally fine. Okay, so, alright, here we go. This is a little awkward because I got my arm of my camera thing going here, so sorry if I accidentally bump it or do anything weird. This is a little weird. Okay. So the first things first is the line of action. Let me go like this. Alright, real quick. You see that here? So line of action. Or maybe a boop boop, okay? I'm trying not to like show it too much on camera because I said don't age restrict this video. So I'm trying to make sure that it's available for everybody, but I guess maybe I should have age restricted. I did put it's not for kids. So whatever. If it gets if I need to age restrict it, that's fine. Alright, so here's this. So we're gonna just go through the process, okay? So line of action. It's gonna go straight down. Well, not straight, it's a curve down, and then like that. That's going to be from her head, down to her torso, down to her leg, up her knee and calf, and up through her foot. Okay? So line of action number 1. Now I'm going to put in her head, and I usually will put it above the line of action because for some reason I always make it a little short, and then I end up running this. But then sometimes it gets a little too long. But this should be. So I'm going to say, okay, head. That's a whole other discussion too, guys, because when I say the angle of the head, what I mean is, okay, head, cranium, that's going to be here. Your cranium's from the top of your head to underneath your nose, and that's going to come right around back here to the base of your skull. Okay, obviously your whole face is the top of your forehead to the bottom of your chin, right? But when you're constructing a head, you start with that ball, and that's going to get you all of this, and then you've got the center line, and that takes you so you can hook on the jaw and everything, okay? So she's facing sideways, so profile almost 1/3. So that's going to be like, okay, so here's the side of her face. And then you go like that. Here's your eyeline. And then if you were going to do the rest, you would put it in, right? But we're not going to do the face when you're doing gesture drawing, quick pose drawing. You're really not putting in a lot of detail. When you put in detail, the time for that is life drawing. I know they sound like they do the same thing, they're really not. So quick pose drawing, figure drawing is where you're trying to get this like very very quick essence of the pose. You want to get the essence of the gesture, you want to get the essence of the movement. Life drawing with a model is where you're placing. Okay, so placing is like, yes, you still do a line of action and all that to help it feel more fluid and to help it feel like it's got more emotion and life, but it's closer to a live still life than it is to figure drawing. Okay, so you're doing your line of action, you're placing your sort of placeholder shapes just like you do with quick pose, but then it's very much slowed down. You know, you're going and you're checking angles and you're checking proportions and you're making sure that your negative space, positive space is doing what it's supposed to do with the model there in front of you or your reference there in front of you. And that's when you're getting into details, and that's when you're getting into the features of the face and the placement of the fingers and the shading and textures and all that. That's like, 9+ hours of drawing versus 10 seconds to 10 minutes, right? So it's a different thing, okay? So for this one, again, this is the very first model session on the regular side of YouTube, Figure Drawing Live Model Gesture Studio #1. Timestamp is 3:44 and I paused it, okay? So here we've got Mirella. I did the line of action. It's going to go from her head down to her knee, up to her calf and her foot. Excuse me. So I'm going to say, okay, here's her eyeline. She's got like a 3/4. It's a little bit tilted, but that's kind of hard to maintain here. Okay. And then, okay, I don't even do the neck. Okay, so here's her chin, here's her shoulders. So there's the angle of the shoulders, and then I'm going to come out. There's a whole thing about the distance between the end of the ears to the shoulder versus the neck versus, but usually women are more narrow there, so I'm going to say, okay, so here's what her shoulder is, and this is coming out. Again, I'm not timing this because I think that's through the process. I would normally go a lot faster and be less nitpicky, noodly about this. Excuse me. So, angle of the shoulders, right? From there, I'm going to go through and do her torso. So, here's the top of the torso, and go to the bottom of the torso. I usually do one circle and then I'll curve out into the circle depending on what the torso is doing. And then you will have to make adjustments. It's never going to be like, oh, I did it perfectly the first time. That is not a thing. Okay, so then this arm, I'm going to do the rhythm of the arms and then the legs. So this one is coming out like that. This one is resting. And then we've got, so here are her hips. I'm going to make sure. That's part, and yeah, so that's not pretty well. Alright, so here is her pelvis, right? She's kind of turned to the side in this, so this would be like, okay, here's this bone for where the, what do you call it, the thighs connect, and then this is just going to go straight back on the other side, and that just gives you an idea where it's going like that. So there's some of your head. This is kind of coming straight out, which means I've got this arm too close. And then so the rhythm there is just like this. The rhythm here is already in, but I need got her knee a little too low. Like that. This foot is going to go here. Alright, so now I'm going to start filling in. Right? So, now for all of this, guys, you're probably like, if you're wondering about time, this is not 30 seconds. This is, when you're experienced, you might get this far in a minute. But this, to get more information and more detail, you're looking at minimum 2 or 3 minutes, all the way up to 5, 10 minutes, okay, to get all of what I'm going to put in. And it's just important to know that, because I don't, I get students that kind of kick themselves about, oh, I only got this much, or I didn't get a very good drawing in 1 minute, as if you're supposed to. You're not. That takes a while of practice and study. It's a whole organic machine it's got a lot of parts. It's got a lot of science and nature and all that stuff behind it, and you're trying to replicate it in 2 dimensions. You're trying to take what you see in 3 dimensions and process it through your brain and your understanding, experience, and practice, and put it onto 2D and make it look cool. That takes time, very good practice. So please do not be hard on yourself, okay? Alright, line of action, head, angle of shoulders, rhythm of limbs, boom, 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 and now I'm going to go through and start refining a little bit, right? So I always start up here, unless you have to start at the bottom, which is usually when the pose is kind of squished and foreshortened. Start wherever is intuitive for you. If it's not intuitive for you, if it doesn't work for you in your drawing, then it doesn't work, okay? So do take the process as a starting point, and then if whatever adjustments you need to make once you feel comfortable in your understanding, please make the changes. I'm not trying to show you how to draw like me, I'm trying to just show you this process that I know works, okay? Alright. Alright. So shoulders, here we go. So this is actually a little bit higher. Now, so what I'm doing now, I'm just going to go through and find some of the spacing. So like this is the breast connection on the torso. And I'm just kind of going to go through and make sure my placement is okay. Again, this starts to get more into the longer pose, but because you guys do the process, it's important. Her back, patella area here. And that's my Again, this is not something you get all done in most of the videos that I post. I think I did one 10-minute one and everybody was like, oh, I can just pause it. So I usually don't go any higher than 5 minutes with the reference videos. But I do encourage you guys, if you're wanting to practice going through the entire process, pick a pose you like, pause it. Just make sure it's nice and big on your screen. Pick a pose, pause it, go, and just, you know, go through all the steps. Alright, so we got, that looks like really weird. Another interesting rule about art is it doesn't look right. Then just say it's not right and just look at it. Alright, so we've got the dust line here. I'll go ahead and indicate. And we've got center line of her chest. Your face kind of comes out here. Just kind of sucked in a bit. And comes out. Bottom of the other butt cheek too, right? So it's going to line up and that's going to really start with thigh on this side. That. And then here. Guys, look, see, this is what I'm talking about. See, I messed up. So this is supposed to line up. You draw, if you guys have it pulled up on another screen, this is supposed to line up with, supposed to come actually a little bit lower than the foot. So that means I'm supposed to have this leg rough. So her foot's here, and this is supposed to come across. So this plumb line across, right? So I'm supposed to have her knee. I messed up. And that's it. So then this is going to be here, longer, and it's the whole thing. See? That's the best thing. Guys, please excuse me. I am probably a little rusty because I spend all my time working a day job, editing videos, or any time really to draw except for with my students in my night class. See, that looks better when I made the adjustment. Do not be afraid to adjust. Don't be afraid to draw something that looks like complete and total poop. Because that's kind of the point. You know, the point is if you want to draw cool stuff, you want to make cool figures and cool characters and all stuff, you have to do all the poop. You have to get all the poop drawings out first, right? And what is it? The saying is like, everybody's got 10,000 bad drawings or poop drawings and paintings and all that in them. You know, the more you draw, the sooner you'll get through that 10,000. And honestly, it's way more than 10,000, but it's kind of like leveling up in an RPG. when you first start out, you know, your quote unquote bad drawings or your unsuccessful drawings are, you know, visually more unsuccessful than when you're like 30,000 drawings in and you have one that you don't like so much, compared to the unsuccessful one at drawing number 30. Unsuccessful at 30,000 is really successful compared to that, and you know, everybody else is going to go like, what do you mean? That's not a bad drawing. So it's kind of relative. Alright, and then the last bit here, probably a little bit higher in here. And make that I think I got her knee tilted a little bit too far, but I think they won't be very clean, so. And then this has got blah, 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 blah. This is a little bit. So I'm going around the shoulder, get the upper arm, and then that's the arm. And some of this stuff, guys, is kind of hard to talk you through just because it becomes intuitive when you start to learn about landmarks and how things line up and the shapes of muscles when they're relaxed versus contracted and blah 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 blah. So that's those are more like when you've had that practice or process that information for you. Okay, so that's timestamp. Let's see, this was like number 1 on the Gesture Studio, and the timestamp was 3:44, and I paused it. Okay, so this is just that little pause. We are. Oh wow, we're almost an hour in. Okay, so let's take a break, and I will go like this. It's not the best, but it'll help more than just a blank thing. We'll do. We'll write this down. 10-minute break. This right here. Okay, so let's take a 10-minute break. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and you guys might need to go too. We've been at it for almost 50 minutes as far as me talking and drawing and stuff like that. So let's do a 10-minute break. I'm going to set the break timer here. Alright guys, 10-minute break starting now, okay? Start. And then when I come back, I will press play on this video. Same video, Gesture Studio number 1. And we'll just scrub to the next pose from the first one, and we'll just keep going. So I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I'm going to go to the bathroom and stuff my face because I'm hungry. And I'll see you guys in 10 minutes, okay? Back in a bit. Hey guys, okay, just letting you update, I'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. Oh goodness, excuse me, I still got some sickies, so I'm medicated, and my voice is gonna start to go, so when we come back in a couple of minutes, again, this is gonna be session 1, and these are 30-second poses for session 1, so I'm gonna go to the second pose because we timestamped and paused at 3:44 for Mirella's pose to do this example right here. Oh, it froze. I'm not going to do that. So we'll just go on and finish the session from there with 30-second pose examples. So I'll be back in just about 2 minutes. Okay? Finish stuffing my face. Guys, 10-minute break is over. Let me reset my camera thing here because it froze on me. Alright. Okay, it's active. Alright. So, we are back from our break. What is this music? Loud. I don't know. Anyway. Alright, so we're still in Just Your Studio 1, so hopefully you guys can use a phone, tablet, or something if you want to draw along. And I'm going to, so I've got it on my iPad next to me. I'm going to scrub through. Okay. Scrub through to her next pose here. So I'm at her next pose. Her next pose, the second pose of this video starts at timestamp 4:21. So if you guys want to go there, and we'll get going. Ooh, excuse me. All right. Let's see. All right. I am going to go ahead and turn the page here. In case anyone's wondering, this is a 12 by 18 newsprint pad. I find that newsprint pad plus lithographic crayon is the best combination, I guess, of for doing your figure drawing and quick pose drawing, because get this like long format, right? So in a normal course of things, I would be sitting down, it would be propped up on my knee, and I can just draw across this page. And depending on how big, you can do across from the full length, or you can break it up in half and then figures across the top and then figures across the bottom half. But that's a little bit more challenging as far as controlling your size. That takes some time to get to. All right. Excuse me. All right, here we go. I am going to press play, and I'm going to talk a little bit less to try to conserve my voice, but I'm going to go through and do these poses. So I want to make sure that I'm giving instruction while I do this. So I'm going to talk where it makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm working out kinks here. This is a new thing. So you guys will see the process that I've already outlined earlier in the screen. Line of action, angle of the shoulders, position of the head, angle of the shoulders, and rhythm of the limbs. Now with 30 seconds, I may or may not get all of that depending on the pose, but I will get the line of action, the head, the direction of the head, the angle of the shoulders, and then I'll start on the rhythm of the limbs and we'll see, or the beat, excuse me, on the rhythm of the limbs and we'll see how far we get, okay? Alright, and, okay, so we started for 30 seconds. I didn't even get to the rhythm of the thing. Still 30 seconds, not that long. Alright. Alright. So if you guys are following along, she's kind of balanced on one arm here. That was very uncomfortable. Much respect to the model. Wow, look at his face. Oh. Okay, hold on guys. I got feedback. It says the music is too low or too loud. So let's see. I'm gonna turn this desktop audio down. So let me know if that helps. You guys hear me better? I did like minus 24 decibels, okay? And that pose is over too. So, as you guys can see, despite my rust, the point remains. It's challenging. Okay, so she's going into her next pose. Looks like her face is cut off. Alright, yay, that's better. Okay, good to know. When you guys need to hear me talk, turn. Alright, angle of the shoulders, torso. And that was that. See, 30 seconds, not that long, huh? Alright. Next pose. Alright, I didn't start with the head this time because her head is... I did the line of action and then I did this bit of her shoulders because she's kind of upside down. Alright. Ah, that was it. Yay. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna pause real quick so that I can turn the page. In a real life figure drawing session, guys, I want to make sure that you understand obviously you're not pausing the person, right? You're not saying, hey, please stop, I gotta turn the page. You will have a shorter pose, you will have 10 less seconds or whatever, or you miss a pose entirely. You will get tired, your hand will get tired, maybe your hand cramps or something like that. It's okay if you do not get every single pose, particularly with my content, because you can just pause. But if you go and you sit in a regular session, or you're watching one of my live stream model sessions and you don't get every single pose, it's fine. Don't worry about it, okay? All right, continue. 30 seconds, a little less than 30 seconds, okay. I have bumped into my thing. That's a little bit better. Okay, I bonked myself into this little arm here. Alright. The reclining pose. I don't know why those are always hard. Alright. Twisty poses are hard, y'all. And that's 30 seconds. Ah! So you see, it's really hard to get a super awesome drawing in 30 seconds. My rust is starting to come off a bit. I'm gonna fit it in here. Alright, if you guys air draw to find the line of action, it helps. Alright, and I'm going to pause and turn the page. Alright, here we go. 30 seconds. Let's see what it is. Oh, not too bad. This was her bottom. Alright. She's standing. Let's put this to the floor. Alright. Hopefully you guys are able to follow along. One of these days I will figure out how to do like a picture-in-picture kind of thing, maybe if that's available. That way I can have what I'm looking at in there. I think it's a possible thing. It's hard to think about that and draw at the same time. Yeah, come down here. Whew. It's a workout. Okay. Let's squeeze it in. Okay, now I will switch pinches. Okay, so let me check. I have no idea if anything's going on in the chat. Oh, hey, there's people in the chat. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna pause to check this out. Let's see. Hi. Okay. Good afternoon, Mike. Yes, we're learning today. This is our, it wasn't safe to have a model. It's too cold and too, conditions too sicky. Excuse me. So yeah, all right, we're gonna continue. This has got like 10 more minutes of 30-second poses, and then we'll take a break and go from there, I guess. So if you guys have questions, if there's something you want to see or something you'd like demonstrated, please let me know. I could go on and on and on and on and on drawing for you guys. But it's going to be the best results if you guys find the video, draw along, try this stuff for yourself, and then you will encounter challenges and hit walls and have questions. So please put all of that in the chat, and I will do my best to try to answer it. We're coming up on about an hour and 15 minutes, so probably gonna go past the normal hour and a half, but just let me know if you have questions, okay? So I'm gonna resume this, and we're gonna finish this session, which is about 10 or 11 minutes left of 30-second poses, okay? Okay, here we go. No. Gotta figure out a way to not have this bar like all up in my face. Okay. Don't like reclining poses, just saying. They are not the most intuitive to draw. For whatever reason, your brain goes, let's make everything way too long, and I don't know why that happens. It's gonna give a really weird wobbly flip. I am not side-eyeing you guys, I'm just checking the comments. See if anybody had questions. She rolled up like a pretzel. If you guys are watching along with the video, please excuse the camera work. I was very new to all of that and took a minute to orient things. Okay. She actually has rather hard poses. This is fun, a challenge. Occasionally annoying. Oh, that was hard. I couldn't even start to get that other arm in. Okay. Let's see it. Not too bad, huh? Let's see. Try to keep this one over here. Uh-oh. Let's see. Hold on. Let's pause, guys. It says that I'm having not enough of a signal, which is weird because I have an excellent signal. tells me YouTube is not receiving some such bloody blah. Don't know what it's talking about. That's weird. Yeah, it still should be received. Okay. If you guys have any issues seeing this, let me know. Okay. If anybody's having any issues, please put it in the chat. Now it says it's excellent. Before it said it was. Now it's saying it's having a hard time again. It's very weird. Well, we won't worry about it. I will do the best I can to get it to. It's really weird. See, my stream health says excellent. This one says it's poor. I don't know how it could be poor stream health, but we won't worry about it, I guess. Alright, well that's still... Well, we'll keep going. Alright, so we have about 5-ish... Hey, where's my drawing tool? There it is. We have about 5-ish minutes left on this video that we're drawing from. Again, this is Figure Drawing Live Model, the Gesture Studio #1, EDSA content with Mirella, one of our popular models, and it's 30-second poses. We got about 5 minutes left, which is roughly 9 or 10 poses, maybe a little bit less left on that. So we're gonna keep it going. I'm gonna have less than 30 seconds on this one, but that's okay. I finished that last one a bit from memory because, yeah. Alright. Wow. She is once again upside down. This is not fun. Foot foreshortening, blah. Foreshortening is always hard and annoying. I know it's just stacking, but still. Alright. Just bumping into this thing in here. That one came out pretty good. I'm happy with that one. Check mark. This one's not bad. Okay. Oops. All right. I think that is that. That's the end of that session. So, yeah. Wait, what did I do? No. Close. Over. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? Oh, yay! I'm glad it's nice and clear coming in. Yeah, sometimes I ask that question because it will tell me that I have full green bars, right? And it'll say, excellent stream. And then all of a sudden, it'll say in the live control panel, it'll be like, no, it's yellow. They're having a hard time seeing. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? You know, so, let's see. We're about almost an hour and a half in. I want to open this up for questions. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've done or said or anything here? I don't know. If you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, I think I want to show you guys one more thing. I want to show you what comes next with the figure invention. I think I'll do it over the top of some of these drawings that I've already done. I guess we'll just probably stick to this page because I could probably reasonably do like 1, 2, 3 or 4 of these. And I'll show you the next stage, which is a little bit of mannequinization. So let's do that. So I'm going to go through some of these drawings and I guess I'll leave that up. I'm going to go through some of these drawings and I'm going to go over with, let's use blue China marker, and that will allow you guys to see better what I do over the top. And the reason for this is, let's see, where's my little example thing here? All right, so you guys remember the that drawing, right? So the what do you call it? The picture that's the cover of this stream, right? It shows you, okay, so I went through and you've got the bean in here, right? And then after that, you see you've got the rhythm of the limbs, the line of action, all that kind of good stuff, right? And then on top, we've got all of the, oh no, it broke. The cylinder shapes that make up all the forms of the body. The body is mostly roundish forms. Cylinders, mostly cylinders, actually. Spheres and cylinders. So, you know, the joints tend to be can be a lot of ball joint things. The arms and legs are big old tapering cylinders, especially the lower limbs. The neck is a cylinder. The torso is more of a bean, but they're not exactly balls. They're not exactly ball shapes to be called spheres. They're more like ovals. So yeah. So let's go through some of these drawings. Let's go through some of these drawings, and I'm going to mannequinize them for you guys so that you have the next step, basically. So here we go. All right. I'm going to take this one, and I'm not doing this with the reference. I would strongly suggest mannequinization be done with a reference if you're not very familiar and practiced with light drawing or figure drawing. or anatomy. So, all right, so we've got enough of this figure to do some invention. So we've got our line of action that helped us build the figure on top of it, so we understood the direction and the flow and the energy. And so now we've got the torso. So this is our rib cage, right? This is our pelvis. This is the rhythm of our legs and our feet. And we've got enough of the indication of everything else, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'll just go through some of the anatomy points here, right? So obviously we've got the ball joints for the shoulders, right? So here's our center line. It coincides with the line of action this time. It doesn't always, but so in your center line, we're gonna have like, here's your clavicle. It's gonna wrap around your shoulders, right? And then that means you've got this rib cage here. So for you can put breast line here. I'm making these up, so if these are not, if this isn't the way her breasts were in the video, please excuse me. I'm gonna put her rib cage poking out here. So we've got a bit of a stretch here. The stretch means in the, so for the bean, let me use this as an example here. Right, so for the bean, if you're bent one side, right, so we've got a pinch on this side and a stretch on this side. So when you've got the bend and stretch, or the pinch and stretch, one side is gonna be sharper and pinched in, and the other side's gonna be longer and curving around. And that's what I'm referring to when I say that bend and pinch. So this is, I've got her rib cage poking out here, and then it's gonna come in a little bit, and then it's gonna come out, and then this is the pinch. So this is the stretch, and then this side is the pinch. All right, so then we've got her hips coming out here. And the way this works is, this is kind of the shape of the, that's gonna be your shape for the pelvis. And then the rib cage can be made into, these can all be done in like, kind of like boxes, right? So you've got the side, the front, and all that. I don't like doing boxes because I don't feel like they're very intuitive. It's a bit more helpful, excuse me, when it comes to the pelvis, because this part, this corner of the box, is literally going to be that bony bit that sticks out. And then the same thing kind of in the back, because it mimics the shape, the actual shape of the pelvis. Like this is going to come in and go around, and in the back it goes around like that. And then you've got an actual bone here. And then over here for your, your hip bone, where your thigh, the bones of your upper leg attached to your pelvis. Right, so then for the rest of this, it's gonna go, okay, so let's say here's our knee, and here's our knee, and here's an ankle. I usually make the ankle and wrist joints just smaller balls. So that's probably gonna be like there. And then we've got elbow, elbow, wrist, right? So then we're gonna go and make some cylinders. Right, and then studying anatomy will tell you where the shapes kind of push and pull for, there we go, push and pull for these. So like the lower leg is always going to have a curve here, and then it's going to be like a kind of a lower curve, so that part that sticks out, and then that other part. So basically it's down to the ankle, kind of like that. So down over here we've got this one, and then over the top of it, obviously, you've got your knee. And then The butt is different depending on the person, but this is the the fit and everything is gonna pop out there. And then we've got on your upper arm. This part here from shoulder to elbow doesn't taper that much, so it's a little bit more straight. That's going to be obviously where your the bulk of your upper arm musculature in the arms, your biceps and triceps. It doesn't taper that much. The lower arm has a lot more taper. And then obviously that part's the elbow. And I can't see this part very well. And I'm just gonna the hand is gonna be a wedge, so it's gonna have, thumb's always on the inside, so I would come out a little bit with the thumb, and then I'm just gonna make that bit up. The neck is another cylinder. The neck is gonna look shorter from the front and longer from the back. So let me move this down, sorry guys. And, oh right, feet. So ankle, and then gonna go to that Achilles part. You got the ball for the foot there. And then it's gonna come down, it's gonna go up. And then we've got tootsies. And I don't remember what this other foot was doing. I think she had this one arched. No, I don't remember, so I'm gonna make it up. And then chin's gonna come down here. And then, she's got longish hair, so we'll just put in a bit of hair there. And then, if you were going to build off of that, right, you just start kind of connecting everything. And when you start connecting everything and taking all of the geometric shapes out, with the exception of the parts and the lines and the shapes that need to be there, then you start naturalizing the pose, which makes it just look like a person instead of a mannequin. That is all the detail. That's like detail stage all the way. And I point that out because it's like the most fun part as far as the fun to look at it and be like, oh, that looks so cool, and look how nice the skin looks, or what a cool outfit they have on, or facial features or expressions. The problem is that that's the last 20%, right, of the work, and the 20% always takes, there's a saying, it's the 80-20 rule in art. It will be 20% of the actual drawing or picture, but it takes 80% of the time, because when you stay in the big and the medium shapes, that's where you get all your structure, it's where you get all your movement and your energy, right? But when you get down to the small shapes, which is what all the details are, you have to slow down, you have to use a pointier tool, and you have to be a bit more exacting, which is fine, but you don't start there, because those small shapes have to live on top of the big shapes, right? It's like, when was the last time you saw a face without a face, right? When was the last time you saw eyes and nose and mouth, those luscious lips just floating in space? It's not a thing. They have to live on the big structure of the head, the cranium, the jaw, all that kind of good stuff with all the lovely muscles. And that's how you get the features and the delicious, juicy details that everybody likes to look at and put makeup on and all that. So let's do this one right here. Move it over. And then after that, I think we'll call it a day, huh? Because I'm getting tired and hungry. And I have other chores to do. I just want to point out that this is very annoying. I have bumped myself on this arm so much, but like, see, it's shaking the camera. Yeah, sorry about that. I just want to point that out because I am suffering for y'all here every time I bump into this. Because it like bonking my face on this, okay? Alright, here we go. So we've got line of action, we've got the upper part of the torso, we've got the hips, and then we've got the legs here. It's all overlapping, so it's kind of hard for you guys to, might be hard for you guys to make out. So let's see what we can do here. Alright, so her center line, the line of action is not the same as the center line. This time her center line is actually coming down here. Well, no, let's see, she's turned, excuse me, her center line is going like this. Yeah, there we go. That's her center line. Center line on the body is going to come from the middle of the torso. It's going to be like here, down here. So when you turn, let's see, I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to put a mark on this thing here. Okay. Okay. So say, all right, center line, right? So if your head is up here and you're laying and you turn, the head can be whatever direction, the arms can be whatever direction, but that center line is going to tell you how to orient everything else on the torso, which tells you how to orient everything else in the arms and the legs and all the rest of it, okay? So center line is actually very important and helpful to point out and see for the rest of your construction. All right, so we got the shoulders. So let's see here. Center line, we're gonna have her, the pit of the neck is what that's called, right there. And then we've got her scapula, shoulder, shoulder. And we'll say the breast is like right here. All right, so we're gonna say shoulders there. So this is gonna be, it's gonna come up. And then we're gonna have elbow. There. And we got the shoulder here. Gravity is probably happening with the breasts, so we're not gonna be just, okay, her breasts aren't that big, sorry. They're not gonna be falling down that much. Yeah. Alright, so we've got some torso here. So the rib cage is kind of putting out there. And then the bottom of the rib cage. And then so the hips are going to stick out like here. So we've got her butt here. So we're going to come out around, and then it's going to flatten out. Not because her butt is flat, it's flattening out because her butt is on the ground. And anytime you have, you know, like if you're going to press your face or press on your arm, if it sticks out, it's going to flatten out against whatever that surface is, right? Alright, so we'll do wrist over here. And then we'll just sort of make up the wedge of your hand here. It's okay. It's not great. It's okay. This part is a little wonky. I probably have this coming out too little or something. Alright, so here's our pelvis area, right? So then her hip bone would be there, but remember so we've got our cylinder, right? Here's our knee. Put our other knee there. And then, so this is going to be This is still gonna be flat, right? She's on the ground until it lifts up. And then this one is, I'm not happy with that investment. A little bit of separation there. And then she's got a little bit of foreshortening. Her legs are kind of coming back a little bit. So, and then there's going to be some overlap. So we're not going to see all of that one. And then ankle, there. And then this is going to come down and top toe here. So something like that. And then we've got another arm that I didn't really get to, so I'm going to make that part up. It's going to go, have it just go that way. So her belly button is roughly here, so that's going to be the other elbow. Wrist. And there would be a thumb there. Wow, that's a bad hand. Alright, so we've got her chin. Down here. Neck. Here. So, yeah, not too bad. Looks better on the screen. Okay, alright, let's see. Okay, I don't see any questions, so I am going to call it for the day. We got almost to 2 hours, and I'm tired. So, please let me know what you guys think in the comments and everything for the stream today. I'm gonna try to do more live drawing in the future. My voice is starting to go a little bit, and the medicine's gonna wear off. So, yeah. We can't think of anything else, so it was wonderful to draw with you guys. I had a lot of fun. I love to draw and paint, and I don't get to do nearly enough of it. So thank you so much for joining me in this experiment in drawing for you guys. I know there are a lot of people who put their drawing and stuff out on YouTube, so I appreciate you guys taking the time to come and spend some time with me to do my drawing. And Nico, you could tell your sister I haven't forgotten about the class playlist for some drawing fundamentals. It's just been, you know, got to get there. So I've sort of got an okay setup here. Let's see how I can adjust it so that I'm not bonking my face on the camera mount there. But I think it worked out okay for today. So do me a favor, guys, leave your comments and your feedback as far as, you know, everything. The volume, were you able to hear me? I know at one point it was, Nico let me know it's hard to hear me. So please let me know how everything went for you guys, how you experienced it, and any suggestions that you might have, or requests or questions, all the things. Please leave them in the comments. And we'll see you guys next time. Our stream for the next time, the next model stream, is scheduled for January 25th. And we'll have a new model. It will not be, she'll be in like bathing suit or underwear. Not all models are comfortable doing nude. So we'll have that. And, you know, weather permitting. I don't think we'll have another big old freeze or anything, but we'll see how it goes. And we'll just keep it rolling. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to finish getting the videos, the premium videos uploaded for everybody. And I'll work on another video for the regular side of YouTube for people who are not channel members, so that you guys get some more content too. And I hope everybody enjoyed this. Alright, so happy drawing, stay safe and warm, and see you next time. Bye.